Hey guys, Don Sturgill here. The last Marketing for Writers class, I promised that I would record a video on the basics of researching the potential for a book or researching the audience, just basic research you would do, whether you're planning a book or whether you have one and you want to sell more, enlarge your audience. So let's get into that. This is just touching on the topic. Okay, my hope here is to give you some ideas about how to proceed and what it's like. So here's Amazon and their topics. So notice that I've chosen here books in the search bar. I'm not going to differentiate right now between hard copy and ebooks. I could if I really wanted to dial in on one or the other, but I'm not. So let's see, our first topic is river rafting, whitewater rafting. River rafting, I think, is maybe a term we can check out. So I'm just going to check on river rafting here in Amazon. And if you'll notice, we always want to look at what shows up, right? So one thing we see across the top here, this is always going to be advertising. This is promoted material here, and this is from a publisher, Radiant Books. So your publishers are going to get top billing. And then we go down and we see the books that run. So what we want to do is look at the books that are listed and see if we can see why they're getting top billing. You know, we want our book to be, just as with Google search, on Amazon search, we want it to show up high. So we're just going to look at some of these and get and I feel for, you know, one thing I'm looking for is what are the covers look like? Are there similarities in the covers? The titles, are there keyword similarities? Are there in the descriptions, how many reviews are books getting? And I look at this one, I think, holy moly, here's the book that's ranking top here. It only has 3 reviews. It's selling for over 16 bucks. Apparently, okay, there's a Kindle for 13, and this baby's ranking really high. So, you know, I want to dial down into that and see what's going on. I click on the title, and then as I scroll down, I can take a look at the description, right? I want to see what a winning description's looking like, and notice that they're using italics in there. So they're making it stand out. I want to come down to the sponsored products. I want to see what Amazon thinks are other products that are similar to this book. Notice they're using the about the author. But here's the down in the product details. Now this is real stuff here that I'm interested in. So one thing I see is, you know, Amazon bestsellers rank, it's 775,000 in books, which is not the best, but so that tells me that this topic isn't extremely hot, perhaps, if the #1 seller is still, you know, up in 775,000. I would want to see that hopefully down within a couple of 100,000. But and here's the rank in the categories. I want to look at the categories they're using: whitewater kayaking, canoeing, and rafting. And then I can, you know, I can click on those and drill down further in those. And I can look. Let me go back to the results in the column, and notice this gives me more categories. I'm going to go, okay, rafting is a good category for my books. So I'll click on rafting, and this is going to give me books in that category. So again, I can scroll, I can look and see, you know, why. What I want to understand is, why are these books ranking better than other books? What are the topics? Now, the next thing I want to do is find a book in the category that has quite a few reviews and that's similar to my book. So my book's on whitewater rafting or rafting the Rogue River. So this one has 13. Okay, that's not a whole lot of reviews, but let's take a look. So we'll take a look at the reviews, and I want to read each review, and I want to look for clues here. Do they say, boy, you're missing out on something, love the book, but so I can see what this audience, these are people who are interested in rafting, I can see what they're talking about. This one says, wish it included inflatable kayaks. So I can go ding, ding, ding. Perhaps my book should have a section on inflatable kayaks. This one's starting. So again, I'm just going to read through these and look for ways to, oh, look at this, it says lacking in details like how to rig your frame to the raft, packing the raft properly, how to use a cam strap. So, you know, these are things I can go, this is what the audience wants, I can give it to them. And that's the whole point of marketing, is find out what the audience wants and give it to them. Okay, so that's just the basics of drilling down into a topic. So let's go back. The next one is a little tougher. It's Central Oregon landscaping. So I can type in Central Oregon landscaping. And by the way, look what happens as I type in Central Oregon. See these suggestions? Amazon's telling me other people are searching on these things. So I'm just going to make note of that. But landscaping, not a hot topic perhaps. We find it's shown, this includes Western British. So I see one thing, there's perhaps a big lack of books that are using the keywords Central Oregon landscaping, because I'm not really seeing any. So, you know, again, tells me perhaps there's not a huge demand for that category, or it could be, and we'll talk about this later, the keywords. So one thing I can say is a high desert landscaping, yes? Or, and that maybe is going to bring up some more stuff, better stuff, water-wise for sustainable gardens, desert gardening. And by the way, as I go through thinking about this desert landscaping, that has 25 reviews. I'm going to drill into that. Notice this was published in 1992, 1990, 91. Tells me there's potential in this market. But look, why do I even need high desert? Why not just desert landscaping? And again, it just gives me a different view every time. And then I can look over here, books by desert, by landscape books. I can click in, I can look down. Here's one that has 25 reviews. So I do the same thing I did before. I'm going to go in and look at those reviews and see what's missing. So especially want to go to the 4-star, 3-star reviews. But, you know, even in the 5-star reviews, they can give it a 5 and still say, you know, that they wish there was something else in there. You can see their problems. Our sandy yard is starting to look like it's been professionally landscaped. So there's something I want to take note of too. You know, can I say that about my book, that it's going to make your sandy desert yard look like it's been professionally done? Do you want your lawn to look like you're hiring a pro, but you're really, you know, doing the green thumb thing yourself? And again, I'm going to drill down into these books, choose some books and look at the stats on them. This one is 713,000, so around the same as our rafting book was. It's number 467 in landscape. Desert climate gardening. Say, okay, let's look at that, see what's in there. And notice this is going to give me some bestsellers. 218 reviews. Boy, I could dive in there and find a bunch of stuff, right? Am I doing succulents in my book? Looks like that's real popular. California drought defying. So there's, you know, more. So you just see how I can go through here and learn a bunch. Yeah. So Amazon search is a really good thing. Okay, let's move on to Facebook. And what I can do here is look for groups. So I'm going to, let's see, river rafting. Notice again the same here. I'm getting suggestions. and this tells me what other people are searching for. So I want to make note of that. I go to river rafting, I go to groups, and I look to find groups that have activity and something I can join. Why do I join? Because I want to be of value. I want to go in here and help people. I'm not going in and start spamming them with my marketing messages. I want to go in and help them. So I look for groups. This one has 10 posts a day. The rafting machine could be a good one. Whitewater rafting could be a good one. So I just click into these groups. Most of them are going to require something of me to sign up. If I hit join group, and looking to see, I thought Facebook used to tell us how many people are in the group, but I can look through and see what they're talking about here. I can get some ideas about, what it's like in this group. It's active, who's there. There's so much I can do with Facebook with targeting my market audience. So if I click on join group, it's going to ask me how I want to join the group, and typically it's going to pop up. Okay, so that one doesn't ask me any questions. Typically it's going to pop up and say, hey, why do you want to join this group? So and maybe what's happening here is I'm searching from a group. So maybe Facebook, if I go in from my private profile, it's going to show me membership information more so than if I search from a group. But again, Facebook, same as Amazon, except at Amazon I'm comparing other books primarily and looking for what people say. But in Facebook, I'm looking for groups I can join, become a part of, start getting a feel for what problems people are having, what questions they have, and I can start helping out. Ditto for LinkedIn. And by the way, do the same thing for your desert landscaping here in Facebook. And find groups that are notice I'm choosing groups up here. That 120 posts a day, landscape architecture and garden design. Yeah, buddy, that's an active group. Are there people in there who would be interested in my book? Very possibly. Same thing on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is primarily for business topics, but if I type in desert landscaping backwards, maybe there's going to be, let me see, down on more to groups. Yeah, there's one with 570 members. Wouldn't you like to know 570 people that are interested in desert landscaping? So here you go. Just use the tools. I like Facebook. I like LinkedIn. Here's another one called Stack Exchange. This is hit and miss with topics, but it's stackexchange.com. Let me check river rafting, see if there's anything going on here. So this one's going to give me what legal issues are there with selling photographs of white river rafting companies. So maybe I can do an article for my site on issues with photography. Is there any maybe I'm not going to India, but these I can go through these questions and look for ones that relate to me, and I can environmental rules for fighting on I don't know about that. So they're doing a I don't know what they're doing here. I guess, is this a game? I guess it's a game. Okay, role-playing game. How to anchor a raft on a river, right? So then if I can answer that question, I can respond, I can get to be known as somebody who knows about rafting. And of course they can click on my name. So this person, Shimizu, is going to tell me, if I clicked over and Shimizu is a rafting guy that has clout with rafting, I'm going to want to be his buddy. I'm going to want to find out more. So that's a way to make contacts. Another place is Udemy. So, I can, what do you want to learn? I want to learn desert landscaping. And as I click in there, looks like there's not going to be, here's an element guide to landscape and nature photography, which tells me, so again, I'm looking for what people are interested in, and a lot of this is just going to be art. So, not every place is going to have the info I need for every topic. So I need to find the sites, and these aren't the only ones, there are more. Perhaps we'll put together a list soon and of other sites, but I want to find out where people are hanging out. They're in my niche, and I want to go to them, and I want to be helpful to them. River rafting isn't going to be a lot on Udemy. Some topics are. And again, here's the final thing I'll show you is keywords. So Uber suggests this is a free keyword tool by Neil Patel. This is amazing for free. So what I can do here is I can type in river rafting, and that's going to look at that keyword. Boy, here's the click all the trees. I always have a tough time with these, but let's see if I can figure it out. Bingo. Okay, so river rafting, and it gives me some interesting information. By the way, here's where it says register, and you can do that. But it's going to give me volume for this keyword over time. So look, during July, as one might expect, it's up at high point. During the winter, it's down lower, but it's still healthy, over 8,000 searches per month on river rafting. Good keyword. But it's going to give me some ideas. So river rafting is at 12.1 now, over 12,000 searches per month. This tells me if I want to do Google cost per click, is going to be over $1 per click. This one is paid difficulty as an estimate of the competition, so it's a high competition term. But how about river rafting near me? River rafting Colorado, river rafting Grand Canyon. And then here's some content ideas. If we'll look over here, keyword ideas, I can click on. Just come in and Uber Suggest and play around with it. I use a different tool that I paid for, but I use this one sometimes just to hop in and use, because Neil's done a great job with this, and it's an excellent free tool. So it gives me some keyword suggestions I might want to use. Let's see any great ones here. Maybe river rafting fun book. I don't know. And down here is going to have to log in to see everything. So this is great, and Neil keeps expanding this. Content ideas, the overview, the top pages for river rafting. So this is a great place to get ideas. Let me do desert landscaping here before we go. And we'll see that, good look at this. So it's staying up higher. In the highest points is October. I think river rafting was back in July. So it gives me an idea of when this keyword is hotter than other times. 9,900 searches per month. More keyword ideas for desert landscaping. 2,900 searches per month. The cost is up higher than for rafting at almost $4 per click if you want to do advertising. But look, this would be a relatively easy keyword to rank for. We didn't really go into SEO and marketing for writers, but search engine optimization, SEO, means I could put together a website that could rank pretty easily. I hate to use the word easy, it's never that easy, but that I have a good chance of being able to rank for organically, so I don't have to pay per click, for ideas for desert landscaping. So make note of that. All the time as I'm searching, I'm making notes. So that's a quick run through for tools and how to do some searches to better find your audience, where they're hanging, and what they're looking for, and get some ideas on keywords to use and sites to use. So if there are questions, more stuff you want to know, just go into the Facebook group. That's the Road Turn group. That's back here. Let me see. See if we can find home on this group without a group. The Road Turn group. On Facebook is groups The Road Turn. And all of you have an invitation. If you're watching this, don't have an invitation yet, email me, don@donsturgill.com or don@roadturn.com, ROADTURN, or roadturn@gmail.com, and let's talk. And I'll get you an invitation to the group, and tell me what you need, and as I find time to hop in and get it, I'll do that. That's it. See you later.